Hey guys, this is Danny Gutierrez with GuteroTV. This is a follow-up to our first work week video. As promised, I told you guys I would dive deeper into how we set up the stems for more and more, and so that's what we're going to do here. So, quick background: if you didn't see the last video, if you're not familiar with this song, in general, when you're playing songs with a click or a loop or backing tracks or all the above, you're gonna start based on when the click starts. So the click is gonna count you in. This is our first song. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Everyone comes in, but it all comes from the click. Same thing with this second song here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We start because the click says to start. So I'm sorry, change windows. So with more and more, if you're not familiar with the song, it's a really cool way to start a song. The lead singer on the original recording with BJ Putnam, he starts it a cappella, and then the piano kind of delicately comes in after he sings a few lines. Everybody else comes in after that. I don't know how they recorded that. It might have been to a click. It doesn't really feel like it. It feels like the click comes in later. So the important thing to remember is you can't really see my fingers moving now, but trust me when I tell you, the second I push this space bar, that click starts. You know, I could be hearing the song. So if you are the stems operator, you use that to your advantage, the quick response from Ableton Live. So what I do is, if you're not familiar with the song, it's going to be hard to explain this, but so the singer starts it out. What key is it? I'm a musician. All we want, all we need is found in Jesus. Dun, doo, 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 doo. And the idea is like he doesn't have to stick to that click in the beginning. It could just be dramatic. Oh, there's no click going. We want, and all we need is found in Jesus. So as an MD, I'm listening for that moment when you could kind of feel the natural organic click, come in. So rather than trying to sync everybody to the computer click, sync everyone where that natural groove is kind of already landing. So it's found in Jesus. Oh, it's more of you. 2, 3, started. 1, 2, 3. Now the stems come in. So all I'm doing is trying to find a neat spot in the song where I could kind of set up the singer for success, but in less broad, generic terms. Really set him up so he can be free, or she could be free to do whatever they need to do in that moment, to be sensitive to that moment, but still sync up with what's going on here. So I feel that there's a natural pause at the end of that line. Da, da, da. There's more of you. Let that line ring out, because you're gonna set them up with 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line of the verse starts right there after that. So thinking like that, thinking more in terms of a musician rather than a programmer, rather than it's kind of DJ-ish thinking when to start the next song. Thinking in terms like that, I want to give him this little section right here. If you're looking at the computer, right before this section starts, which is the rest of the stems, which is the verse. You can see I have it marked. So this is the click. It's an eyeful. Is that an expression? I don't know. It's not a pretty waveform. Anyways, I hope that's making sense. So when he sings that line, dun, 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 da, 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 let it hang, then I'm counting them off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bum, ba-da. So even though he started the song, or she started the song freely, there is a moment in the song where they kind of become at the mercy of the click again. That's a good thing. All right. In later videos, I'll show you how, as an MD, and for the sake of the worship leader, for the sake of the moment, for the sake of what's happening in your worship set, you don't have to be a slave to what's going on form-wise with this song. If you set your locators properly, if you know how to maneuver your way around Ableton Live, There's a reason why it's called live, and that's because you can use it very effectively live. So that's one way to handle this song. So you pick a moment where you can almost think of it as two different sections of the song. There's the free part, and then there's the lock to a grid part. And don't bother trying to dictate what happens in the free part. Just let it happen. But you do dictate what happens in the set to a grid part. That's one way to do it. After saying all that, I'm going to tell you guys, when we did this song last weekend, we didn't quite do it that way. So we kind of rehearsed it. I worked it out with our worship leader, Adam Ranney, to how we would get that set up. He preferred to have the click going, though, while he sang. So even still, I didn't want to leave him at the mercy of any kind of loops or stems or anything like that. But he wanted the click just for timing, just to make sure he didn't start it out super fast, and then we have to bring it down slow. So that's another way to do it. So what I did is I gave him the click, and I didn't trigger that intro until later. So I'll show you two quick tips, and I am running out of time here. So first of all, the song starts way back here. There's all this space of click. Let's go back to our ugly waveform. It's actually not ugly. It's very uniform. It's just boring. All right, look at it. All right, I'm getting distracted. Anyways, so here's where the song starts. Here's where I had his click going. If you see this little guy, and if you're not familiar with what it is, it's a section that you're looping, basically. So, quick Ableton tip. Sorry about that. Quick Ableton tip is if I select this section and hit Command L on a Mac, don't know what it is on a PC, you're going to have to Google it. Command L is going to loop that section. If I were to do it with that, Command L, it's going to loop all that. I like it just kind of small. You can also do it manually, same thing. And if that little button has to be selected there. So that button has to be selected, and then you select what you want to loop. So I'm sending him that click. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So he can start it literally whenever he wants to. I'm playing some pads in the background. He just starts 3, 4. We want do 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 do. Stay with me. I'm showing you this for a reason. Do. So he's still with the click. Do do. Do 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 do. This is the next locator button. 3, 1, 2, 3. See that? So what I did was I skipped to this section when he was good and ready. So I gave him that click for as long as he needed it. Kind of felt that. So basically the same section I was just telling you where I would normally start it, which was right here. I got there. The only difference is how I got there, and I could put it into words, but you guys saw what I did. Kind of hung here until it came time to get here. Then I hit the next locator button to move from here to here, which led me to the verse, which led to the rest of these beautiful stems. So, all right. I'll show you one last tip. I kind of touched on this in the last video. Command K on a Mac. That's how you assign keys to your keyboard. You assign commands to your keyboard. So this is the next locator button. This is the previous locator button. So what I do, if you look down at your keyboard, if you're on a computer right now, the comma and the period have that less than, greater than arrow right above it. So I use comma and period for previous and next, just because it looks like arrows and it's intuitive. So I just use those to cycle. So look at this little red line here. I'm just use my finger to point at the monitor. But so follow that little red line. I'm going to move it over here by hitting the comma button, just because I have it assigned to that previous locator. And previous locator, next locator. Makes sense. So that's how I get around quickly between sections like that. So I hope that makes sense. I wanted to break down a little bit more how we set that up. You can apply that to any song where you want your singer to kind of start freely. You could also use that if your singer kind of gets off Let's say we're over here and he starts singing the verse. I'm like, oh, holy moly. And he's about to go to the chorus. Well, I could just hit those buttons again and I'm in the chorus. Do, 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 do. Cool. That's a quick version of what could be a very complex subject. Hopefully that's enough for you guys to go in and explore yourselves. If you need some more clarification, by all means, feel free to comment below. I'd be happy to break it down some more. I might even be able to offer a better explanation typing it up rather than trying to use my words to explain it. Yeah, so that's the follow-up video there. Hope that helps you all out. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you have any other questions, if this helps you at all, if you want to use this any different way. I do what I do. I'm always up for learning new ways to set these sessions up. This works for me. Like I said, there's a couple different ways to do these things. More than one way to skin a cat. So anyways, all I'm saying is let me know. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'd be happy to help out. That's going to do it for me here tonight. You guys